and I'll let you know how you can be a part of the conversation. The WhatsApp number is 0809 440 981. You can also tweet at Smooth981, and we're also streaming live on our YouTube channel. It's Smooth981. And this morning, we're talking about the president creating the Ministry of Livestock Development. We have a guest joining us this morning. Our guest is Dr. Frank Udeh, who is the CEO of Mastervet Services Nigeria. Good morning, Dr. Udeh, and welcome back to Business Express. Pleasure to have you once again.
Great morning, Nigerians, and to you. Thank you for having me.
All right, welcome, Doctor. Thanks for that. And let's get straight into this conversation this morning. Now, the ministry was created to basically put an end to the clashes that we've seen happen between herdsmen or pastoralists and farmers. Doctor, do you think that this can actually achieve the purpose that this ministry was created for?
Thank you again. We are so happy to, let me start by thanking Mr. President for making this something that we've been waiting for, and we are so happy to see that it has finally come. Yes, this will go a long way to solve the problem of farmer-herder clashes, because now as a ministry, we're going to sit down and start dealing with the issues really closely. We understand the herders, we are their vets, and so we know where it pinches them, and we know some of the concerns that they have expressed. So we're going to sit down with them. We're already doing that though, but at this time, this level now, we'll be able to come up with a better budget to deal with their issues. And so, yeah, this will become certainly a thing of the past in a while.
All right. Now, speaking about the things that you've outlined that the new ministry is going to do, does it mean that previously the Ministry of Agriculture and other stakeholders had not done this?
Oh, okay.
Dr. Udeh, can you hear me? You're listening to Business Express on Smooth 98.1. It's Zibby here, and our guest this morning is Dr. Udeh. We're speaking about the creation of the Ministry of Livestock Development. Let us know your thoughts. WhatsApp 0809 440 981. You can also tweet at Smooth981. Dr. Udeh, is your signal better now? Okay, it just seemed like we're having some challenges with connecting with Dr. Udeh, but we'll hope that he can join us again so we can have this conversation.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, let us know your thoughts. What are your thoughts on the creation of this ministry? Now, this ministry has been created to seek this, what has seemed like an unending brawl between farmers and pastoralists, farmers who, have worked so hard to get their crops, and then sometimes in certain cases they've complained about these herdsmen coming onto their land and destroying their crops and their property. It's led to numerous clashes. Lots of lives have been lost all across the country as a result of these clashes between the farmers and the pastoralists, who are just looking out for their own interests. Well, the president says this is the solution, the creation of this ministry. Dr. Frank, are you back with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so previously, Dr. Frank, I asked that you did say this is the solution. You understand both parties, and I'm curious about this. Does this mean that in the past, the Ministry of Agriculture, the other stakeholders had not tried this sort of engagement?
Yes and no, but I would say categorically that this separation, which I emphasized at the interview I had with Arise, they need to take out the crop section from the animal section, which is embodied in Greek ministry. The livestock ministry is going to allow us to, you see, these header clashes that we're talking about, it will go down to the fact that we were going to start to bring this ranching thing that we are talking about. There's need for us to bring all the headers to one place. They are used to us. They deal with us on a daily basis. So we, like I said earlier on, we know their concerns. So we're going to be able to make it a better thing. And they have also been advocating for this too, because they know that it's only the person that feels your pinch that understands, how to deal with your issues. So we are going to find it very easy, very, very easy to deal with them. And like I said, this is going to be a thing of the past.
All right. Some Nigerians, though, perhaps are not so optimistic. They're saying maybe the agricultural ministry should have been in charge of this system, right? And they say that creating a new ministry is rather wasteful. What would you say to that?
Not really. It's not going to be wasteful. Now, let me put it this way. You see, the concept of the real cause of farmer header clash is the fact that the animal seeks to graze. The animal must feed, it must go out to graze. And sometimes because of climatic change, because of restiveness, you don't have these animals any longer, in the forest or in the bushes. They are now having to move more frequently. Now, what we are saying is that with coming together of with coming of the livestock industry ministry, we're going to be able to sit down with them and say, okay, look, what are your needs? We're going to be able to deal with this critically. And like I said, it's going to be handled. There's no better time as now. So like I said, this will actually, it's not a waste. It will be resolved.
All right, let's go on to the WhatsApp messages. Don't forget, we want you to be a part of the conversation. The WhatsApp number is 0809 444 Tayo from Aja says, in the midst of scarce resources, federal government introduces Ministry of Livestock to governance. I wonder what the responsibility of the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Economy is doing. I feel it's a huge waste of resources because what are they going to do differently? If there's a clash, shouldn't the security agencies be deployed? Should we also be expecting the Ministry of Crops? Now, Dr. Frank, I want to ask this. Is there any chance there could have been a different solution to this problem that has plagued the country for so many years now? Could there have been another solution? Well, apart from creating a new ministry?
There again, I would say no, because this, like I said, this ministry, the president and the look, you cannot quantify. I would say, agriculture contributes like 40%, of employment in the country. So that's a huge number. Now, what we are saying is that, look, the way we're practicing agriculture together, crop, and is not allowing that dedication to the livestock sector. The livestock sector is so vast, it's so huge. Look, we are still talking about taking cows from Sokoto in trucks and taking them to Lagos. We are saying no. As a ministry, we're going to be able to say, look, we're going to sit down with the government and say, look, come, you don't have to haul live animals to Lagos. Look, what happens to cold chain? What happens to slaughtering them right in the north, to slaughter slabs and dressing them and packaging them and taking them to Lagos in cold vans? All these things are going to be looked into. It's not going to be business as usual. The president said quite a lot, as concerns what we expect. Look, agri business has gone beyond slaughter and take. No, we are saying packaging, we are saying processing. It's such a huge industry. So this ministry will help us to harness all of this, and there will be departments, there will be people saddled with this responsibility, and I can assure you, Nigerians have no cause to fear. This is the right policy. This is the right thing to happen to us, and the dividend will soon show.
Hmm. All right. So how would you assess the livestock sector currently?
Um, Not really good. I mean, like, when I had the interview on Arise with Rotus, and he brought out the chart, where the livestock sector, fisheries, cattle, sheep, and goat are in the red. Now, in terms of GDP. Well, what I mean by that is in the red because our contribution from livestock is going down. And that is stemmed from the fact that, farmers are not grazing. These animals live on crops. So the fact that, the crops are no longer available for them, people are not farming, and, nutrition is a problem. The agri sector is being hit. Farmers need maize, they need granite, then, all those raw materials for production of animal feed. So because of this scarcity, because of climatic change, restiveness, and all that, it has become difficult for the livestock sector to get food for its animals. So this has actually affected, and that's why we're saying this time around we'll have a ministry. This ministry is going to sit down and say, look, this is the total population of cattle. We'll do a census, an animal census, population census, and say, okay, this is what we have, this is our requirement, and we'll sit down with the relevant agencies. And as a ministry, now we're able to say, yes, this is what we need in the budget. And of course, like I said, all these things will be dealt with.
All right. It's a few months to Christmas. Now, just a few weeks ago, during the Muslim holidays, a lot of people could not even afford rams for their families because of the high cost. So, do you think Christmas is too short for us to see a change, perhaps? Will livestock become affordable by Christmas for families across the nation?
Well, part of the news that we got in the last few couple of days is the fact that the government is planning to allow, import duties taken off, raw materials. So maize, which is our major concern, is going to come in. And if this truly happens, even though we feel somehow it's not also, but for the meantime, before we get our acts together, if that happens, of course, that will bring down the cost of production. And if the cost of production comes down, certainly what has happened during the Salah celebration will not repeat itself at Christmas.
All right. I've got a final question, Doctor. What does Nigeria's livestock need more than anything? What should be the priority?
Well, so many things, but I would say that what we really need now is to get out of the conventional agri practices to get into agri business. Look, agriculture is such a I call it the gold mine, because that's where all the money is. People must eat. Like I keep saying, you might not wear a shirt you might not change your wardrobe in 1 month, 6 months, but you must eat on a daily basis. And so, but there's need for us to leave this pattern of the way we treat our oil sector, where we take crude and send it out and bring it back. No, the time has come for us to say what we produce here, let's now make it more. Let's change it to a processed thing that brings in more money. Let's stop taking chicken. Let's stop buying chicken slaughtered off the road on the roadside, not hygienically done and all. No, let's have industries. Let's have factories. Let's have processing plants that will actually do 2 million breads per hour, and and take it to the people. And of course, with high production.
All right. That is all the time that we have
Volume.
for.
Of course, the translates to
Okay.
lower cost country will better for it. Summary
All
is
right.
just.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Frank Udeh, for being on the show with us this morning. I mean, a lot of Nigerians have their opinions. I do hope that perhaps in the few months, we, as Nigerians collectively, can start to see the benefits of this ministry and say, okay, you know what? Maybe we'll eat our words. All right. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Udeh, for being on the show with us this morning. That was Dr. Frank Udeh, CEO of Mastervet Services Nigeria. That is it for Business Express. Do stay with us. There's a lot more to come on the Smooth Breakfast.